What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the DBN show. It's about to start in a little bit. Setting up right now. Give me a couple minutes, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and shout everybody out like we always do. We doing this show live from Thailand, y'all. I'll hit you guys up in a second. Yep.
Legendary.
Let's get it, y'all. Let's get it, y'all. DBN Live. We out here in Thailand, Isan right now. We're about to get it started right. Hopefully this connection stays strong. Look a little weak right now. Let me go ahead before we start this show. Let me say what's up to everybody in the comment section. Yes, sir. I'm out here in Thailand, Isan right now. We got the roosters running behind me. We out here in the village, y'all. It's going down like a plane crash right here on DBN Live. Yeah, man, I'm about to eat me some tom yum goon. That's shrimp for y'all that don't know. But anyway, man, let me go ahead and say what's up. Hey, everybody in the comment section. I just got a chance to look at the comment section right now. I'm going to switch the camera in a minute. But before I do, man, go ahead and rep your city, rep your country, rep your hood, rep your island, rep your continent. That's what it is, y'all. Let me see what's going on, y'all. Let me see what's going on over here. All day, y'all. All day. Yeah, it's going down over here, man. It's going down. I'm just reading some of the comments right now, and I just got a chance to look at some of the comments right now. Let me see what's going on over here. South Central LA, Chicago up in here, Australia. Bronx, New York. Oak Cliff. What's that? Oak Cliff? Never heard of that city, but okay. Oak Cliff up in here. General Motors, my man said I'm working over there at GM right now. Watching from Mexico City. Oh, what's going on, man? Mexico City, Jamaica up in here. Augusta, Georgia. Kuwait. Los Angeles. Yes, sir. Portland, Oregon. DBN Live, y'all. We haven't started the show yet. I'm just giving shots out before we start the show. I appreciate everybody tuning in right now. Yeah, let me see what's going on, man. The Bay Area. San Antonio. LV and Long Beach, you know what it is. LBC, know what it is, bro? Yeah, man, all good, y'all. Louisville, Rockford. Yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about, man. We got a whole lot to talk about up in here. Hold on, let me go ahead and get some of the trolls. Let me go ahead and remove some of the trolls out of here. Once again, man, I love trying to get these trolls to call in. But we got a lot to talk about, man. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. We're going to talk about that, man. Your boy Gennady Golovkin ordered. Here, hold on for a second. Yeah, your boy Gennady Golovkin ordered to face the winner. No, not even the winner. I got distracted. I just looked at the comment section. Your boy Gennady Golovkin ordered to fight against Jermall Charlo to get that third fight with Canelo Alvarez. Let's talk about it, y'all. I know it's late right now, but we gonna get it in. It's I'm out here in Thailand, and it's 10 in the morning out here, guys. It's actually going on 11 in the morning out here. So if it's 11 in the morning, I guess that means it's about 9 p.m. on the West Coast out there in Vegas, and 12 midnight out there on the East Coast. All day, man. Once again, man, I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera in a minute. Saying what's up to everybody. We're going to go ahead and talk about it, man. Once again, Tyson Fury going up against that boy Deontay Wilder. The press conference was a hit. We're going to talk about it. Gennady Golovkin, is he going to fight against the opponent that he's ordered to face next, Jermall Charlo? Or does he retire? Or does he go and fight Vanas Martirosyan in a rematch? Let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's go ahead and talk about it. We're going to go ahead and switch it up, y'all. Let's go ahead and switch up the camera. I'm going to jump right into it. I'm not going to even go into my intro right now. We're going to jump right into the show, man. We're going to jump right into the show and get it in, y'all, all day, all day. Let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Yes, sir. What's going on, y'all? What's going on, man? Dante's Boxing Nation Radio Live. We getting it in out here in Thailand. You might see some roosters running behind me. I'm out here in the village just getting it, y'all. So I had to get this live show in. I told y'all no matter where I go, we going to take the show on the road. That's how I go down, y'all. That's how I go down. But anyway, man, let's go ahead and start talking about this news. You guys see the number is on the screen. If you guys want to call in, you guys can still call in. Everything is still the same. We're going to talk about this news, man. Tyson Fury, once again, going up against the champion, Deontay Wilder. Press conference was successful. It was a hit. It was entertaining. It was everything I expected it to be, you know. But Gennady Golovkin, man, Gennady Golovkin, that boy is in a heap of trouble right now, man. He's in a heap of trouble. And I'm hearing a lot of these fans say stuff like, oh, you know, he's going to beat, they saying stuff like, oh, he's going to beat Jermall Charlo easy. I made a video and I said this is bad news for Gennady Golovkin that he's ordered to fight against Jermall Charlo. And you had all these decaf Golovkin fans coming out saying crazy stuff like, hey, how could you say this is bad news? That's biased for you to say that. This is bad news for Jermall Charlo, etc., 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 right? But let's ask the question right now. Did Gennady Golovkin want to fight Jermall Charlo just to fight Canelo? Or would he rather prefer to just go straight to a Canelo rubber match? That's a common sense, obvious question. You already know the answer to the question, right? It's a rhetorical question. We know for a fact that Gennady Golovkin did not want to fight against Jermall Charlo, and he wanted to fight against Canelo. I mean, well, honestly, I can't even say that's a fact that he wanted to fight against Canelo, because we haven't heard him say anything since that fight against Canelo. We haven't heard him say he wants the rematch. Honestly, I think that Gennady Golovkin is strongly considering retiring right now. I really don't think that he wants to fight against Charlo. I know he doesn't want to fight against Charlo. Now, when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But he has a lot to lose right now. He has a lot to lose right now, and I'm telling you right now, I truly believe that Canelo, he wins the rematch, no doubt. Matter of fact, he just may stop Golovkin in a rubber match. That's how I pretty much see it, man. What's going on once again to everybody in the comment section? We doing another late night show. I know everybody's asleep right now, but we gonna still get it in, man. Hey, man, I want to thank everybody for tuning in because I know everybody is tired. Everybody's asleep. Cap's got to go to work tomorrow. So everybody hanging out with me, I appreciate that. What's that over here? Let me see. Okay, let me see. My man Yakov White. Let me go ahead and introduce some of the cats in the DBN Super Army chat section. My man said, soapy much, soapy however you say it, you know. I don't know what you're really saying. I'm thinking he might be using a Thai reference right now. Something like that. Love you much or something. Love you long time. I don't know if that's what you're trying to say, man. But hey, man, I appreciate the donation, man. Once again, man, I appreciate everybody showing that love. You know, for those of you guys who don't know, this is my full-time job, man. This is my full-time job, YouTube. I have no other hustle, man. It's this or nothing. You know what I mean? It's new media or nothing. That's basically what it is, man. DBN New Media is what it is. Okay, that is my job title. You know, so anyway, let me go ahead and also introduce some other members showing that love. Once again, I appreciate you guys donating and showing that love. We also going to start a live show on the Patreon. People have been telling me for the longest to start a Patreon account, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna have a special show at least once a week on there, man. That way you guys can really show your love and support for what we're doing over here at DBN New Media. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, shout out to my man Third Coast Sports TV. He said H-Town representing, love your content. I appreciate it, family. My man Myron Dennard, another member of the DBN Super Chat. He always showing that love. He said, Dante, me and you both know Triple G gon' duck Charlo like drug dealers duck the feds. God damn. We all know that. We all know that, man. My man Reggie Owens, what's going on, man? He says, shit, we up. Tuning in. The late night show. Once again, man, I know everybody's asleep right now, but everybody who's tuning in, man, let's go ahead and get it in. What else you guys talking about in the comment section, man? Let me see what else y'all talking about in the comment section. Once again, man, the phone lines are open. If you guys want to call in, you can. I'll go to the phone lines in a minute. But before we keep chopping it up, let me see what else you guys talking about. Dante, let me see. Dante, what are you doing out there in Thailand? Your son getting experience out there. He said my son getting experience out here. Man, I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna be out here in Thailand a lot, man. I love the country out here. I'm dropping Dante's Travel Nation, and you guys are going to hear everything and see everything I'm doing out here in Thailand, man. I got a whole lot of footage. I haven't dropped it yet, but it's for Dante's Travel Nation, man. Great country. I'm loving it out here. I'm just hanging, man. The cost of living is great. You know, you don't have to make a lot of money to live out here, at least if you can bring your income from the United States to over here in Thailand, you can live a pretty good life. I mean, you can honestly live out here for like $500 a month, man. Once again, if you can bring your income over here from the States. Let me see here. My man said, where the thick Thai women? Oh, they got thick Thai women out here, man. They got thick Thai women. And like I said before, man, the women out here, they love black men. I mean, they just treat them like kings. I mean, don't get me wrong. They love other foreigners as well. But they really love the black man, the hip hop association and culture and everything. A lot of them, they try to dress and they try to wear their hair. They put chemicals in their hair to make them look like they black and everything. So they really showing the love out here. But anyway, let me see. Yeah. Dante, are you still doing the food channel? Yeah, man. I've been recording crazy. Man. I'm actually editing my first episode right now. Cooking up some stuff for you. I'm gonna be doing some cool stuff on Dante's Cooking Nation, man. I'm gonna flip it. Y'all gonna see me do stuff that other cooking channels don't do. So I'm gonna flip it, man. Dante always keep it unique, man. That's for sure. Yeah, man. Oh, all day, man. I ain't lying, man. You come out here as a brother, you know what I'm saying? You walking down the street, they treat you like you LeBron James or you Drake, man. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Let me see what's going on. What else is going on? I'm reading some of the comments right now. My man asked me if I watch UFC. I watch it every once in a while. I'll be honest, I haven't really watched too much of Khabib. I just heard that that's a very tough fight for Conor McGregor, but I really haven't been watching so much. Ever since almost every fighter gets busted for PEDs, it's kind of depressing, man, to see so many cats ruining their legacy, getting busted for PEDs, man. Saunders versus Andrade. My man says Saunders versus Andrade. Yo, man. Shout out to my man Andre because he just said that he's still considering fighting BJ Saunders despite the man failing a drug test. Not a drug test for cocaine like David Benavidez failed, but BJ Saunders, he failed an actual PED test. Oxyliofrene is what he failed. It's what he tested positive for, man. So yeah, man, that's pretty much what it is. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump to the phone lines real quick. I'm gonna jump to the phone lines. You know what? Before I jump to the phone lines, let me go ahead and talk a little bit more. That's what I wanted to do before I jump to the phone lines. You guys, once again, can call in. But once again, man, Gennady Golovkin is in a very, very bad situation. He's in a bad situation. And, it's just really cool, man, when we see these fighters forced to face the opponents that they don't want to face. Jermall Charlo has been Gennady Golovkin's mandatory for almost 2 years. He's been his mandatory for almost 2 years, and Gennady Golovkin has been in no hurry to fight against Jermall Charlo. We know that when Dominic Wade was his mandatory, when Willie Monroe was his mandatory, we know he took them fights in a heartbeat. He took them fights right away. We already know this, right? Now, when it comes to Jermall Charlo, he would rather fight Vanes Monterosian, who is not even a middleweight, right? He would rather fight anyone else. But now Gennady Golovkin is put in a hell of a conundrum right now. Because Gennady Golovkin, now, he's forced to either end his career as a failure, as his own ally, Jim Lampley, would put it. Jim Lampley, he said it himself. Jim Lampley said that Gennady Golovkin, if he loses to Canelo Alvarez, his entire career is a failure. That's what Golovkin's own boy said, okay? That's what Golovkin's own boy said. He said that his career will be a failure if he loses. So now, in order to rectify the situation, he now has to go through a young, hungry lion in Jermall Charlo. Is he going to fight Jermall Charlo next? The WBC, credit to the WBC for ordering this fight. The WBC has ordered this fight, and now Gennady Golovkin, he has to make a tough decision. How bad do you want to show that you're great? How bad do you want to show people that you are not the most overrated fighter of this generation? Because I'm telling you guys right now, if Gennady Golovkin retires right now, if he retires right now, the way his career has been, he will retire as the most overrated fighter of this generation. Now, once again, for the decafs, if you disagree with what I'm saying, if you believe that what I'm saying is biased, I want you guys to pick up your phone and call that number you see on the screen and let's talk about it. Let's have a sit down, if you will. Because I'm telling you guys right now, there is no boxer in this generation that has been rated as high as ESPN and HBO's Jim Lampley has rated Gennady Golovkin, and the best opponent that they decisively beat was David Lemieux and Curtis Stevens. Because I think that was a decent win for Gennady Golovkin. Of course, it wasn't an Andre Ward, it wasn't a Lara, it wasn't a Canelo, right? It wasn't a Jermall Charlo, it wasn't a Andre versus Saunders winner, but it was a decent opponent. I mean, when you think about it, Golovkin's best opponent that he decisively beat, because you can't include Danny Jacobs, you can't include Canelo Alvarez, because both of those fights could have went either way. The best decisive win that Gennady Golovkin has on his record is against David Lemieux. And let's face it, David Lemieux is the type of opponent that undefeated prospects beat, right? Right now, David Lemieux is an opponent that an undefeated prospect can beat. We know if a Floyd Mayweather or Andre Ward or even a Terrence Crawford or even, I would even say, a Lomachenko, we know that with only a couple of fights, those guys, they could fight someone like a David Lemieux and beat him, right? We know that. So anyway, man, let me go ahead and go back to the comment section and see what's going on. I'm going to take a call in a minute. Let me just glance at the comment section because I'm multitasking. So anyway, let's see what's going on over here. Okay, I agree with you. Oh, snap, DBN Live. You know what it is, man. DBN Live, late night show. I know everybody sleep, but for everybody that's not sleep, we getting it in. What else y'all talking about in the comment section? DBN, no. Lampley rates him historically. So he'd be the most overrated boxer in history. Damn, that's a good point, man. That's a good point, Yamin, if I said your name right. Yeah, man. Well, you know, but when it comes to most overrated in history, I mean, I would really have to go back and reevaluate that, you know. But no doubt about it, hands down, Golovkin is the most overrated fighter of this generation. Hands down. Dante, we know Gigi will retire after the Charlo knockout. Marquise, he will retire most likely before a Charlo fight. I don't see him getting in there with Charlo. Man. Out here in Vegas right now, rock with you, Dante. You out there in Vegas? Yeah, man. Well, I'm residing in Thailand right now, man. We out here in Thailand. What time is it in Thailand? It's 11 in the morning right now, guys. It's 11 a.m. right now in Thailand. Yeah, man. Dante, I'm hearing that Gigi is not going to fight Charlo next. That's not a surprise. Okay, where'd the comment go? Okay, he's not. I lost the comment. I was trying to read what my man said. I lost the comment. Not for mandatory. Okay, Broner is overrated. Okay, my man said Broner is overrated as, you know, AF, right? See, I'm glad that someone brought this up before I had to, you know, tell people that some fans will say Broner is overrated. But see, this is what you guys don't understand. You have to understand what the definition of overrated is. Overrated is when the public rates you. You can't say Broner is overrated or the most overrated because ESPN did not rate Adrian Broner as top 25, one of the greatest fighters of this era, right? HBO Jim Lampley did not call Adrian Broner a living legend, right? That's what they call Golovkin. That's what ESPN rated Golovkin as one of the greatest fighters. They rated him as top 25, number 2. The best middleweight in the last 25 years, top 2, right? They didn't do that with Broner. So you cannot say that Broner is the most overrated. It's not even comparable, right? It's not even close. Once again, you have to understand what the definition of overrated is. Overrated is when the public rates you higher than what you deserve to be rated. Okay, with that being said, here, okay, all right, guys. Once again, I'm going to take a call in a minute. I swear, I promise you guys I'm about to take a call. Gigi HBO, overrated Gigi most. Reading some of the comments. No doubt about it, Chocolatito. Chocolatito, he's also on that list as one of the most overrated fighters, top 3 of this generation. Why? Because ESPN, they rated Chocolatito over fighters like Terrence Crawford, over fighters like Errol Spence, and a lot of the fighters that's emerging as pound-for-pound fighters today. They have him rated above them as top 25, one of the greatest fighters in the last 25 years. That's what makes a person overrated. Once again, man, you decafs, and these decafs, man, when I make a Golovkin video, these decafs, they fill up the comment section, right? But when I do my live show, I'm begging these cats to call in. They will not call in. We want you guys to call in. Tell me what I said about Gennady Golovkin that was biased. Tell me what I said about Gennady Golovkin that did not logically make sense. All right, with that being said, let me go ahead and take another call, man. Or let me take the first call, I should say. We're going to go ahead and take a call right now, y'all. All right, man. So we got 706. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
What's going on, Dante? It's Jason, your boy from Facebook, man. How you been?
Hey, Jason, my man. What's good, family? I'm good, man. What's on your mind, man?
Next time you go live, you should go out live maybe like an hour or two earlier, so it's around midnight, so not too many people are asleep.
Oh, trust me. This is just the first one. It took me a long time to set everything up because, like, as you see, I'm setting stuff out. I'm setting stuff up out here in Thailand.
I like the green background. The background's nice. It's better than the studio.
Good looking, man. I'm glad you said that because my lighting. I didn't ship my lighting out here. That's why I'm not using my green screen. Because the lighting, they wanted to charge like $300 to ship my lighting. I said, forget it. I'll just buy some lighting when I get out there to Thailand. But the funny thing is, once I came out here to Thailand, what's up?
I was gonna call in and let you know, like, how isn't it funny how the people like HBO that banned Al Heyman, they're the ones that are dead now, and the company that welcomed Showtime, that company that welcomed Al Heyman with open arms, they're booming right now. Isn't that ironic?
It's extremely ironic. But just real quick, I want to finish my point real quick with the lighting. I came out here, like I said, I brought I was going to buy lighting out here, but then the same lighting that I bought out there that was cheap, they charging 10 times the amount for it out here. So it's like $1,000 or $1,500, some ridiculous, price, when it's like cheap out there in the States. But anyway, they have to ship it. They have to ship it out there, so that's probably why it's probably more expensive, right? Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, man. But getting back to your point though, Jay. No, you're absolutely right, man. We called this, Jay. We called this. Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
Did you hear Abel Sanchez going in on Roy Jones and HBO? But he forgot to mention Jim Lampley. Lampley is the one who said GG's career is a failure if he loses to Canelo. He forgot to even show. He didn't say anything about Lampley. He just went in on Roy Jones to Fred, the barbershop conversations guy.
Wait,
he just left Lampley alone. You see that?
You talking about in a recent interview he did, or because like 2 weeks ago he went
like a week ago, Fred interviewed Abel Sanchez. He was going in on Roy Jones, but he didn't say shit about Lampley, which is so fucking biased. That Lampley was way harsher on GGG than Roy was.
But one thing I will say, Jay, is I did a video on this. He actually did say about 2 weeks ago in an interview, he said that Jim Lampley and Max Kellerman are the most biased commentators. And he said he doesn't even listen to him. So he did before he said that, and he talked about Harold Letterman, and he didn't include Roy Jones. So this is news now that you're telling me that now he took shots at Roy Jones. I didn't know about that. I gotta check out that interview. But go ahead, Jay.
I heard the Chicago show Jesse Vargas and Delorme is not selling tickets. That's why Eddie's flying all the media. He's paying for a lot of media members' tickets to fly out there, like Pheno Boxing, Michelle Joy Phelps, Radio Raheem. He's paying for all their tickets to go out there.
Really?
It's not selling at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
That's interesting news right there. That's really, really interesting news. I mean, once again, karma is something else, Jay. Karma is something else, Jay. Go ahead, Jay.
He said he was going to come over take over USA Boxing. I mean, now he said he wants to put on Chavez Jr. versus Martinez in Vegas on November 17th, like talking like it's a fucking big show. Nobody wants to watch that shit.
No, it's not gonna. I mean, that won't be. When
Dante,
you have
Dante, I know. We people say we don't give criticize PBC, but I want to criticize PBC. I hope Heyman does not put Chavez versus Angulo on that Wilder undercard. That fight is horrible. That does not deserve to be co-main event of any big card. You know what I mean?
That would be that would be horrible for a co-main event. But the talks are. They're supposed to have Gary Russell versus Leo Santa Cruz and Abner Mares versus Tank Davis on that undercard.
I'm hearing Jared Hurd might be on there, and Joe Joyce versus Washington also might be on there, and maybe Luis Ortiz also.
See this, and Jay, this is the reason why we seldomly ever get a horrible PBC card, because Al Heyman, he has so many good fighters signed to him. He has to get them a date.
You might get one bad fight, maybe.
Oh,
one bad fight,
of
but
course.
3 good fights.
I mean, yeah, but one out of like 500 fights, you know, is not that bad of a deal.
Yeah.
Like 10 out of 500 fights is not that big of a deal. You know, so once again, he has so many undefeated fighters. He has to get them a date. So that's the reason why, once again, if you ever went to a live PBC fight, you watch those undercard fights before.
They're like 10 fights. They're like 10 fights.
And mostly all of them are promising future stars or top contenders. They're not like just bums or anything like that. So yeah, man, that's good stuff, man.
Look at who Big Baby Miller is fighting, man. Adamek, some 42-year-old retired Polish guy. That's horrible.
Yeah. Nobody's putting on fights like PBC and Al Heyman. These are just facts. And you remember, like you said, Jay, you remember it was 2 years ago. What happened to fans that was saying PBC was dying, Al Heyman was the cancer of the sport, and he's running out of money?
Oh, Dante.
Huh?
The same people that said PBC was dying, they're the same people that told Wilder to shut up and take that $12 million. They said, take the first offer. You don't know anything. Shut up. Then the offer went to $15 million. They said, shut up and take it. Now the offer is even more higher. Yeah, so the same people that said PBC's broke were telling the Wilder to shut up and take your money. Absolutely. So these people don't know shit.
No, not at all. And you got reporters like Steve Kim. Who vowed to never cover a PBC fight. A year or 2 years ago, making fun of PBC, saying they're sending me emails and I'm putting it in my spam, and now all of a sudden he's at PBC fights. I mean, this is the type of stuff you see in movies. You know what I'm saying? Where karma comes around and, you know, the cocky, arrogant, bad guy is forced to basically conform and jump over. Thank you, man. Thank you, man.
He said all the PBC fans are the lowest common denominator. Like, it's talking shit about every PBC fan like they're cancer to boxing. PBC is the one that is reviving boxing. They fucking made boxing alive again. Without PBC, the boxing would be fucking dead and fucking in the wild, wild west and Showtime and HBO still. We would not have Fox and ESPN still right now without PBC. PBC is the one that took a chance and woke these fucking executives up, because Al Heyman went and got that $600 million from Wall Street and spent it on these big networks. They woke up and saw the fucking potential. Al Heyman gets no fucking credit. Without Al Heyman doing that, ESPN would not have that fucking deal with Top Rank. So Al Heyman is the fucking pioneer of this, bringing this boxing back to national TV. He gets no credit for it, and he doesn't really even ask for it. That's why I like Al Heyman. He doesn't give a shit if you don't give him credit for it. What is this? That's why I really like Al Heyman.
What is it? What is it? Hold on one second, Jay. I just got a drink over here from my home girl. What is it? Let me try it out.
Man, I like Thailand food too. The food over there is really cheap, isn't it, Dante?
Oh, super cheap. Everything is super cheap, man. Aloy, kapun kap. Yeah, they brought me a drink over here, man.
You can hire a chef over there for a couple $100 a month, probably.
A chef, somebody to clean up your house and all kind of stuff. You can live out here in Thailand for $500 a month. You can live like a millionaire. Man. You can live like a millionaire out here for $2,000 a month. You know, this is why this is one of the top countries where people retire. Because if you're going to get a retirement check of $1,200 to $1,500, you know, a month, you can't do nothing with that in the States. But you living comfortable. You should,
hey Dante, make sure you go to some gyms over there also, some kickboxing and Muay Thai gyms over there also, and put some of that footage too if you can.
Oh yeah, I'm starting Dante's Muay Thai Nation, you know, so I'm gonna go ahead and follow them around and so people get familiar with some of the favorites out here and all that, man. So yeah, man. But anyway, Jay,
that's my call, Dante.
I'll
let you go to the next caller. Thanks, boss. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for calling in, Jay. All right, man. Catch up with you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. So that's my man Jay, man. Real knowledgeable fan, man. I love the fact, man. Once again, man, I just love the fact that our message, it resonates, and you get. And I'm not trying to take all the credit for, you know, how intelligent my man Jay is. But there's no doubt about it that the message that we've been pushing over here has been resonating. I mean, you got Deontay Wilder pretty much saying some of the same things that I've been saying, talking about the racial double standards. You got Andre Ward talking about it. And that's the reason why there is nothing more powerful than a microphone, you know? And a microphone can work for you or it can work against you. It could either be your best ally or it could be your worst enemy when it comes to these cats that contradict themselves over and over again. Okay. Hey, yeah, is the connection bad, guys? Because I see I have a weak stream right now. You guys let me know how the connection is. I do see my live stream, it just went red. Red is not a good color when you live streaming. Okay, my man said connection is still good. Okay, you guys are hearing me. Hey, just in case you know, you guys do miss anything, this is the live feed. All of this will be archived on my actual channel, so you guys can also watch it without any interruptions later on when it's uploaded on the channel. Okay? With that being said, let's go ahead and take another call, man. I appreciate you guys staying up late for me, or staying up late with me, man. Let's take another call. We got 910. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, man? This is Wink, Third Coast Sports TV and your comment section. What's going on, big dog?
What's going on, family? What's good with you, man? Thanks for showing the love in the super chat section. I appreciate it, man. What's on your mind, man?
Oh man, it ain't nothing, man. Yeah, yo, just like I was saying a few months ago, man, when I called in your show, man, and it was just like I was like I told you a few months ago, this fucking dude Triple G thinks he's fucking John Wick or something. Like he's not the boogeyman. He got put to shame twice, really, by fucking a smaller fighter in 2 fights. Like the fact that this man can come in the ring and guys can outbox him, and he loves to talk this Mexican style shit, and he likes to perpetrate on other people's culture. And the fact that he even had Abel Sanchez impeding the process, and now he wants to come out and say like, yeah, he's losing the fight and all of this bullshit, and the fact that HBO and all this shit is going to shred. It's just karma for all of the, all the inadequacies and all the bullshit that they've been putting real boxing fans through. It's just time to see them get their just due, and hopefully the WBC, man, orders this man to go ahead and fight fucking Jermall Charlo, because I'm ready to see his ass get washed.
Yeah.
Like, I like what Triple G did. I like how I like how Canelo made him look silly, but like, honestly, to see Power, and I really think just like Jermall Charlo is gonna smash the dude if the fight is made.
There's no doubt about it.
He's gonna be back in the.
There's no doubt about it, man. And unfortunately, we know. And once again, this is one of them predictions I hope I'm dead wrong on. I hope to God Golovkin fights Charlo, but he ain't gonna fight Charlo. And I truly believe that Gennady Golovkin, he looked at what happened to Kovalev. Like I said before, the analogy I like to use is, Hitler, his ally was Mussolini, the man who ran Italy, and that was his ally. They were basically working together. And when Mussolini, got killed and they hung him and they dragged him through the country, Hitler, he looked at that and he said, I don't want that to happen to me. So he killed himself, and he said, when I kill myself, I want you guys to bury the body, et cetera, et cetera. He was in fear that would happen to him. My point is, with Gennady Golovkin, he looked at what happened to Kovalev. That's his Mussolini. And he's seen Kovalev get dragged out and knocked out by Andre Ward. That's why he didn't fight Andre Ward, because he didn't want that to happen to him. And now he's saying to himself, I don't want to go out like that. So maybe, I think this is why I believe Golovkin is really contemplating not even fighting Canelo at all. Not fighting Canelo, certainly not fighting Charlo. But once again, if he retires the way he does, he in a hell of a conundrum right now. Because if he retires right now, he will retire as the most overrated fighter of this generation. And it could be argued,
no question. And
it could be argued top 10, one of the greatest overrated fighters of all times. You know what I mean? He can go down.
Kovalev and Chocolatito. Kovalev and Chocolatito, hands down. Oh, and Anthony Joshua, hands down right now, are the most overrated fighters in boxing.
Well, if
all of these dudes are doing everything.
Well, if Anthony Joshua,
everything these.
Well, I mean, but
go ahead. Doctor.
Only thing I'm gonna say is Chocolatito. I don't know about Anthony and Kovalev yet. I mean, because when it comes to Chocolatito and Golovkin, once again, I'm going off of how the media and the public rated them, and they rated them as the greatest top 25 fighters in the last 25 years. So there's no higher rating than that for a fighter that doesn't deserve it. You know what I mean? So That's pretty much how I see that
Absolutely.
situation, man. So like, like
But one thing before I get on out here, I did want to ask you, because it doesn't look like Errol Spence is gonna get the fight with Mikey.
Why you say that?
Like he's gonna be fighting Comey because he's gonna be fighting Comey in December.
Is that official?
I believe it is.
I haven't heard.
It is. You know.
I haven't heard this news yet. I haven't heard this news, and that, to me, that doesn't make any sense to me, because if Mikey, and if that is true, if Mikey Garcia is not going to fight, if Mikey Garcia is not going to fight him now, then that means he's changed his mind and he's never going to fight him, because it would make no sense for him to fight against David Comey when Mikey himself said that I need to fight the best. That's what gets me up. So if he's changed his mind and he's not going to fight him now, then that means the fight will never happen. I hope you're wrong about that. I hope that's just a rumor, because I really want to see Mikey. I want to see Errol Spence versus Mikey. To me, Mikey Garcia is the closest thing to Oscar De La Hoya style wise. You know, so that's what I want to see, man. Hopefully that fight, it happens, man. So that's pretty much what it is, man.
I want to see it too. And I definitely wanted to see. You know, I definitely want to see Sean Porter and Errol Spence, you know, because these men are out here they getting built, they getting money, they getting fat. It's like these dudes, like they get built and they just get entirely too comfortable for me. And I'm just ready for them to go ahead, put their glory on the line, fight the best. And Errol Spence deserves everything that he got coming to him. And when he ends up fighting all of these dudes, he busting their motherfucking ass. So that's my call, Dante. I appreciate everything you've been doing. Been following you for the last 3 years, man. Before I ended up following you right before the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight, and ever since then, bro, you've been keeping the trail, bro. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate what Ego does. I appreciate the whole LDBC. Y'all all show love, and y'all the reason that boxing is on the move to the way that it is right now. So shout out to you and all the major work, and you make sure that you keep your blessings, bro. And do everything you can to maintain.
Hey, that's what makes what I'm doing worth it, man. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, man. And all right, man. That was my man right there, showing a lot of love, man. And for the cats that was asking in the comment section, yeah, man. Shout out to my man Boxing Ego. Me and Boxing Ego, we are going to be doing some more collabs. So you guys are going to see us doing it new media style. You know, the thing with me and Boxing Ego is, from day one, our message never changed. We was never afraid to go against the grain. You had a lot of cats that they was actually, you know, saying the same thing as the decafs back then. But now today they've changed it because they see that it's not beneficial for them to go with the decafs. So now, you know, since we, cats like me and my man Ego, since we marched down the street having rocks thrown at us and water holes, having to go to jail and all this for what was the truth. You know, we went through the pain, you know, to get to where we are. Now you got cats who didn't want to go through all of that, but now they want to reap the benefits. And that is the reason why, you know, I always, me and Boxing Ego, we always gonna collab and do stuff together, because the message has always been consistent. We never was afraid, you know, because I tell a lot of people, especially a lot of black folks that either do commentary on YouTube or even members of the media. You know, it's a lot of pressure when you a black media member or even a commentator, because you start saying stuff that's the truth, and you have all these racist fans that go against you, and they start sending all these racist messages, and a lot of people are not built for that. A lot of black folks, they're not built for that. You start seeing these racist comments like, oh, you N-word, oh, all you N-words are the same. You know, all these racial slurs that they start saying. And some weaker type of black folks, they'll see this and they'll be like, oh my God, they calling me this, they calling me that. Let me go ahead and just, let me just go ahead and conform to what they want me to say. You know, that way, and then they conform and they start saying stuff like, you know, oh yeah, Al Heyman is the cancer. He's a disease. Oh yeah, Floyd Mayweather is scared of Manny Pacquiao. Oh yeah, Floyd Mayweather this and Andre Ward, you know, he needs to stop calling out Gennady Golovkin. You had fans, you had members of YouTube, black members of YouTube that were saying this kind of stuff back then. Why? Because it's safer to say things that the majority want to hear. It's safer. If you say that kind of stuff, they won't call you the N-word. They won't call you this. They'll wait until you say that one thing that they disagree with, and then they'll go back to calling you an N-word. That's why I say to myself, man, I'm going to speak the truth no matter what you call me. You ain't going to stop me from speaking the truth, and that's just what it is. We're going to keep it in. We're going to keep it going, y'all. Yep, Dante, I wonder if Abel Sanchez unfollowed you on social media. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, man. But you know what? Speaking of Abel Sanchez being upset, see, this is my thing. I could sleep comfortable, man, because if I interview you and I didn't disrespect you, I didn't ask you nothing that was out of pocket, and you got upset because it got hot in the kitchen, that's your damn fault. That means you need to come out and you need to start speaking the truth. You digging yourself your own hole. So I don't get upset. I don't worry when someone gets mad because I asked them a tough question. You know what I'm saying? Now, once again, if some of these reporters are just flat out disrespectful, excuse me, and they'll say something crazy to these fighters, and those are the ones that should feel bad. Like, man, I really screwed up that interview. You know, I've heard people ask Floyd Mayweather real disrespectful type questions that are more personal as opposed to asking him just tough boxing questions. You know, if I'm asking Abel Sanchez, are you guys going to fight Charlo? Why did you guys fight Willie Monroe, but you won't fight Charlo when both were mandatories? There's nothing wrong with asking those kind of questions. If he's going to get mad at that, that's on him. You know what I'm saying? That's on him. So anyway, with that being said, what else you guys talking about? Let me see here. Let's give him a call, huh? Okay, let me go ahead and take another call. Excuse me, y'all. Yeah, these bugs flying around. They trying to get some fame over here. They little 15 minutes of fame biting on me and shit. Anyway, what's going on? My next call, I know who this is, 323. That must be my man Reggie. What's going on, Reggie?
Man, what's happening, Dante, man? What's happening, everybody?
What's good with you, family? What's on your mind?
Oh, man, nothing. Man, enjoying the show, man. I just wanted to give a shout out to those who keep it real in the game. And we watching all these phonies up in this whole combat game fall apart. The Lantleys, we got Eddie Hearns out here bitter as hell. And just, man, Al Heyman doing this thing. Dante, you know, he maneuvered in the game, and shit, he at the top of the throne right now.
Oh, good looking
doing
family.
Big things with this. They doing big things with this fight coming up. Hearing about the ticket sales being at $1 million in 25 minutes. Still climbing. I wonder where those numbers are now, but they've outperformed all those who have thrown all that sidebar crap.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Karma, man. It's all about karma, man. It's all about karma. Because once again, everything, I'm telling you, man, I was one of the only members of the media that was given Al Heyman the credit he deserved like 2 years ago. You remember, Reggie? I know you had to see those articles. They had articles where people were saying Al Heyman's going out of business. The 3 or the 5 million views he did on TV were really small numbers, and et cetera, because if you look at the subscribers that NBC has or ESPN has, those are really trash numbers. And I know you've seen all those articles where they kept talking about him, right?
Oh yeah, I followed all of it closely, and I always know what's real and what's not, and I just never listened to. I know where it comes from. It comes deep within the dark spot in these people's hearts.
Absolutely,
seeing the complexion of a man. So
yeah, that's what it is. And I excuse me, and I love the fact that you have Al Heyman. By way of contrast, is the polar opposite of Floyd Mayweather in terms of personality and lifestyle. And yet, Al Heyman was actually hated at one point more than Floyd Mayweather was. So, you know, you had Golden Boy staff members that called Al Heyman an N-word and a black Hitler. This is a man that has never done one single interview. We don't know what his favorite food is. We don't know what type of music the man listened to. We don't know nothing about him. All we know is this man puts together fights. That's all we know about him. and yet he was hated more than Floyd Mayweather was. So my point is, this proves that when people try to say, oh, the reason why people hate Floyd is because, you know, his domestic violence case, or because of this or because of that, he's an asshole, he's not a nice guy, his personality, we know that's not true. Because Andre Ward, Al Heyman, Deontay Wilder, Errol Spence, and Floyd Mayweather all have contrasting personalities and lifestyles. So we know what time it is at the end of the day. But hey Reggie,
Dante,
go ahead.
No, I was saying it got so bad with the bigotry amongst these the people with voices in the game that they try so hard to destroy the face of boxing in order to let MMA rise, because they seen what was down the line with Al Heyman, where they try to say boxing is dead. They bash anything with boxing, with dealing with black fighters. They were over hypercritical of anything that was done just to ruin, not to kind of ruin boxing, because Al Heyman was at the forefront of everything. He surpassed the Bob Arums, everybody, and they seen what's coming on, that they tried to destroy the face of boxing, and it has, their hatred has turned around and
backfired.
Them.
Backfired.
That's the beauty that I see in this. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey Reggie, hang out.
The UFC ain't what it is.
No. The UFC. Huh? I was just about to say, hang out with me for a minute since I'm riding solo. Why don't you hang out with me for a minute?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
For sure. I heard somebody say Dante out there getting tipsy. No, I'm just letting everybody know I don't drink. This right here is just like some type of fruit like smoothie drink out here. You know the crazy thing, man, out here in Thailand, man, you could get big ass full size cup smoothies for like 30 baht. 30 baht is actually about $1. You know what I'm saying? So once again, man, the cost of living out here is great. But once again, hey, before I take another call, this is what is very frustrating to me. Decavs, why don't you guys call in? Whenever I drop a Golovkin video, you know, the comment section is filled with all of these damn decafs. You know what I'm saying? It's filled with all these damn decafs talking all of this stuff, but yet once I do the radio show, they never call in. I want y'all to call in. Y'all sitting over here, oh, you know, all this talking about nut hugging on Charlo and all these black fighters, which we know what that means. That's, like I said, that's no different than calling somebody an N-word lover. You find out that your sister is dating a black guy and you call her an N-word lover. Oh yeah, you just love, oh you damn N-word, you know, you N-word lover. That's what they saying. Oh, you love, oh you Charlo lover, you Andre Ward lover. You notice they only say this about black fighters. They never call anybody a Canelo lover. They never call anyone a Golovkin lover. They never say you sucking on so-and-so's cock and all that kind of stuff when it comes to Golovkin and all of that. So that lets you know that they're telling you what they think about black people in general. And they're telling you, where I grew up, if you wasn't black, you never support black people. So I don't know where you done grew up from, but you don't support black people where I come from. You must be one of them damn lovers. We don't accept that where I come from. That's exactly what they're saying. So I want you guys to read between the lines when you see these code words, all right? So if you don't know how to decipher them, I'm always going to help y'all out. But anyway, let's move on real quick. Let's take another call. We got 817. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Dante, what's going on, man? This is Eric calling Dallas.
Calling from where?
Dallas.
Oh, Dallas, Texas. What's going on, man? Over there in Errol Spence Hood?
Yeah, what's up, my brother?
What's good with you?
Yeah, you good, man?
I'm good, man. I'm gravy, man. I'm gravy. What's going on?
Yeah, man, I respect what you do, man, at LGBC, man. I respect all those brothers. You know, I actually had a chance to meet Barbershop Conversations Fred personally, man. Next time I'm in LA, me and him gonna train together. So I really respect you brothers, man. Y'all definitely putting it down.
Good looking, man. Good looking. Yeah,
y'all definitely. You know, I'm considering moving to Thailand to retire, man. And you were saying if you could move your income over there, how do you do it? I'm trying to find that out now.
Well, I mean, obviously you would have to have some type of job where, you know, you could work abroad, or you would have to have some type of internet gig, some type of internet hustle like what I have. Because a lot of people out here in Thailand, a lot of brothers out here, man. I mean, it's like it's a community out here with brothers and other foreigners. But you know, a lot of them, they don't have the privilege that I have of or the luxury of being able to bring my income out here. So they work for like 3 months in the States, and then they come back out here for 3 months. Or one cat that I actually ran into, I put him on my channel on one of my videos. He stays out here for 6 months, and then he goes home for 6 months. But yeah, all I can say, bro, is you would have to get some type of gig where you can make your income from the States, and you could do it over here, which would be like you doing your work online or something like that, you know. But this is no doubt about it, man, for the cost of living, and you know, and once again, for a black man to be treated like a king. I'm just being real. I mean, the women treat you like, literally, they treat you like a celebrity. You know, the whole country, men, everyone. They respect you,
right?
And like I said, the cost of living, like I said, real talk. I know I keep saying it, but really, $500 a month you can live out here. $2,000 a month you live like a king, you know. So I mean, if you ever wanted to just wake up one day and not have to worry about how you treated in your own country, and just ever wondered how does it feel to not have the pressures of being black, and it's all a positive of being black. You know, you come over here to places like Thailand and other places in Southeast Asia, you'll experience that. And unfortunately, 98%. Yeah,
I've been looking at Philippines and Thailand, and I've been looking at Tanzania, man, as possibly spots, you know, to retire in.
It's a lot. South America is another destination. I was out there in Cali, Colombia too. That's another great destination. You know, Brazil. Yeah, it's a lot of countries like that. You know, you'd be amazed how you're treated. You'd be amazed how you're treated when you leave the country. I mean, all foreigners are treated good, but you know, when you see what black people deal with in our own country, you would just be amazed. It's like night and day. It's like night and day. So it's a great move. And they was asking me, yeah, this is actually a permanent move for me. I'm probably gonna be, yeah, I'm staying out here in Thailand, but the cool thing is now I'm close to Japan, I'm close to Africa, so I'm gonna be moving to all these spots. I mean, just checking them out, you know, going over to all these countries for Dante's Travel Nation. But yeah, man, if you can make the move, man, you will. If you come over here for a couple weeks, you go back to America, you'll see America completely different. It'll change your whole outlook. It'll change your whole outlook. And that's real talk. That's real talk right there. But anyway, man, hey, but good stuff, bro. Good stuff, man. You got anything else on your mind, man, before I let you go, man?
Yeah, man, just on the boxing tip, man, and fight game, you know, you said you're gonna start doing the whole Muay Thai thing. You know, when I was living in Vegas, man, I trained Muay Thai. So that's cool, man, that you're actually going to be doing that, you know, giving people that, you know, that information on those fighters. A lot of those fighters don't really get the pub that they should. You got a lot of good Muay Thai fighters, man. A lot of good Muay Thai fighters. Yeah,
absolutely, man.
You know?
And it'll be, like I said, man, it's going to be some good stuff. I mean, I just got to stretch myself out, you know, because I do get pretty busy. But yeah, man, we're going to try to, that's why, you know, it's been kind of hard. Once again, even though I've been recording a lot of stuff for Dante's Cooking Nation, Dante's Travel Nation, but it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work, especially the editing. The editing is a strenuous process, man. It's a strenuous process, man. I mean, it takes a long time to edit all that kind of stuff, man. But anyway, man, so that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, man. Hey, man, but thanks for your call, brother. Good stuff, man. And I hope to see you out here in Thailand, man. All right?
You will, man. Much respect, brother. Take care, man.
All right, man. Take care, man.
All right.
Yep. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So, yeah, man. Here, let me see. Let me take it. Let's go ahead and take another call, Reggie. Let me see here. All right, we got 267. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's going on, man? My name is Aunt Mugger, man. I'm calling from Philly.
What's going on? What's going on, man? What's on your mind?
What's going on, man? I mess with your platform and all of that. You know, it's my first time calling in. You know, my
For
first
sure.
time calling in. But yeah, I just called about the Triple G Charlo situation. I think I got a little different perspective than you, man, on that.
It's
Not
okay.
gonna hold you.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, bro. It's only boxing talk. Just hit me with it. Hit me with it.
Yeah. I don't see it as a duck. I don't see like Triple G is ducking him. Here's why I say that. In this specific situation right now, you know, because at the end of the day, he got a name now, so he can fight for a title most likely. Like if the winner of Andre and Saunders, they most likely will give Triple G a shot. The winner of Jacob Derevyanchenko, they most likely will give Triple G a shot. So why would he fight for a mandatory spot when he can fight for a title?
Okay, well let
I'm
me answer that. You brought up Darren Yevchenko. You have to remember, he gave up his belt not to fight Darren Yevchenko. And when it comes to and when you say for a man, why would he fight for a mandatory spot? Remember, Gennady Golovkin has dedicated his entire career to fight Canelo Alvarez. Basically, that's the man. He's chased Canelo for 2 years. So now, when 2 fights in, and if you want to, at least the first fight ends in controversy, because I wouldn't call the second fight a controversy at all. But when you have a fight that ends where you lose, Canelo puts a blemish on your record, and you want to have that third fight. Abel Sanchez already made it clear. He said, who knows? Maybe we'll fight 3-4 times. That's what he said before the rematch. This is what they want. So if they want to fight Canelo next, and the WBC says, hold on, Golovkin, if you want to fight Canelo next, you're going to have to. There's no other way you can actually put that.
Charlo fight's a big money fight. That's a big money fight.
Which one? What you say?
Him and Charlo. That was a big money fight.
Of course, that's a big money fight. Of course, that's a big money fight. And listen, understand this, guys. Understand this. I was there. I covered when Golovkin fought against Willie Monroe. Why did people show up to that fight like it was Golovkin versus Andre Ward? The atmosphere was electric. Even the Dominic Wade fight. You know why? Because as Don King would put it, race sells. You have a white man, and they know that white man has a very good chance to knock out a black fighter. It doesn't matter if the fighter is a bum or not. The fact that they rarely see a white fighter just knocking out a black guy on that level, they love to see it, so they celebrate it. Like I was telling people, I remember I was interviewing Rudy Hernandez, the late great Gerald Hernandez's brother, who's a cut man, and he's very reminiscent of Abel Sanchez. That's who he reminds me of. But he was talking big about Golovkin. He was like, "No, I'm telling you, this guy's the best. No one's gonna beat him, etc., etc." And I remember this Mexican fan. He ran by in the middle of the interview, and he looked in the camera as he was running by, and he said, "Yeah, man, Golovkin's gonna f up all those N-words." You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. He's gonna f up all those niggas. That's what he said, right? So my point is, it was a celebration for them. It was bigger. They didn't care if it was a tomato can that Golovkin was in the ring with. My point is, if we know that Golovkin versus Willie Monroe was looked at with that much type of love and electricity in the air, then we know that Golovkin versus Charlo is going to be way bigger, because way more is on the line. Way more is on the line. You know, so that's my point, man. That's my whole point. So there's no doubt about it. It'll be a big fight.
At the same time, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, I feel like if he goes over there, let's say Billy Joe wins or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
He goes over there and then he beats Billy Joe and then he becomes that champion. I don't know why I can't think of which belt they fighting for. I don't know. It's not. Is it the
WBO? You talking about Saunders and Andre?
Yeah.
The WBO belt. They fighting for the WBO belt.
The WBO, bang. So if Golovkin goes over there and gets that, he's back in position to negotiate.
Well, yeah, you're right. Well, okay, so let me ask you this. You're right. You're right about that. If Golovkin were to do that, it wouldn't look like that much of a duck. I mean, you would kind of basically be able to at least kind of put up smoke and mirrors and deflect from people thinking is that much of a duck. But let me ask you this: what if Golovkin doesn't fight? What if he doesn't fight Andrade? What if he doesn't fight Darren Yevchenko? If he doesn't fight Saunders? What if he doesn't fight any of those guys and he still doesn't fight Charlo? Then would you say it's a duck?
Oh yeah, then he's ducking.
Okay. There we go. Because I don't believe he's going to fight Saunders versus Andre Winner. I don't believe he's going to fight them. I mean, I would not be surprised if he retires. I would not be surprised if he goes to 168 and he fights James DeGale. And then we're gonna hear
better not do none of that shit.
Yeah, and we're gonna hear decaf try to defend it, and they go, oh, but he's fighting a bigger fighter. But he's fighting a bigger fighter though. They're gonna say some crazy stuff like that. That's what they're gonna basically do.
Oh man, he can't run from the middleweight division now. Not after all that shit they was talking. You can't run from it. You gotta stand up, try to get back that position he was in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I see him retiring, man. He doesn't have enough in his arsenal to deal with the dynamics of these other guys that he's faced with, and they're stronger than Canelo. He's leaving.
Yeah. I totally agree. I totally agree, man.
I hope you don't leave, man. That'd be some meta ass shit, man.
Yeah,
he's faced with a problem, man.
And I'm sorry. I got distracted.
I hope you don't retire.
And I'm sorry, I got a little distracted, but anyway, I truly believe that Gennady Golovkin, he's going to either retire or try to fight somebody. Like I said, I wouldn't even be surprised if he does a rematch. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he does a rematch with Vanes Monterosian. I mean, it's that bad right now, man. It's that bad. And of course I'm being sarcastic, but we know that it'll be someone on the lines of that. Once again, oh yeah, and hey man, if you guys like what we doing, if you up late with us, man, hit that like button right now, man. Show your love, hit that like button right now. And if you guys like what we doing, if you hanging out with us, it's 11:54 in the morning out here in Isan, Thailand. All right, so I'm gonna be getting up even earlier next time, man. I'm gonna be getting up earlier, so for me to do the show like I usually do, because I'm doing the show this Sunday. We still gonna do the radio show. But in order for me to do it at the time I usually do it, which is 6 p.m., I got to get up at 8 in the morning out here in Thailand, to do it at 6 p.m. out there in the States, and I'm a late sleeper. You know what I mean? I'm not the type of person to get up all early, so we'll see what it is. But anyway, y'all, yeah, man, like I said, though, man, I want the decafs to call in, man. It's not a coincidence that they fill up the comment section when I talk about Golovkin, but they don't call in when we do the show live, because they know that they will be confronted with the truth. And they know. That's why even when they say the stuff that they say, they don't say it because they believe it. They say it out of loyalty. They say it out of loyalty to ride with Golovkin. When you say, how do you call me biased? Because I asked a question. I did a poll video. And I said, does Golovkin, A, fight Charlo? Does he retire? Or does he avoid him and fight someone else? And you got people just off the question, people saying, oh, you're biased. Oh, something else people don't realize is when you say you're biased because you want Golovkin to fight Charlo, you guys do understand you're implying you believe that means Charlo beats him, right? Because what you're basically saying that if I were to say, I want to see Gennady Golovkin get hit by a bus. If I say I want to see him get hit by a bus, we know what that implies. That implies I want to see his ass get killed, right? I want to see him die. So if I say I want him to fight Charlo, you guys are looking at Charlo like a bus is going to kill him, because you said, oh, only a hater would want to see him die, right? Only a hater would want to see him get hurt. Only a hater would want to see him get in the ring with that goddamn lion Charlo. You must be a hater because you don't care about Golovkin's health. That's what you guys are saying. Decafs, man. They don't think with their brains, man. They don't think with their brains.
They like the Jack Johnson 1920 stands, man.
Oh,
they think white is right.
No doubt about it.
Condition they bred with.
No doubt about it. And that's why, once again, they don't call in. But every time I do a Gennady Golovkin video, the comment section is looking like Hitler's Youth. You know what I'm saying? Because they won't call in though. You know what I'm saying? So once again, man, if you truly believe what you're saying, call in. Let's take another call, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to eat me some tom yum goon, some tom yum chicken. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this in a minute. But anyway, let me see. We got 617. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
What's up, man? I'm Tom. What up, man? I'm from Boston.
What's going on, Tom? What's on your mind, man?
What's up, man?
All right.
Nothing. I want to speak a little bit on the Triple G thing. Yeah, I don't think he's going to fight Charlo next. I highly doubt it. I would love to see the fight. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think the quickest route is like how the other guy said. I think him trying to go after the Saunders-Andrade winner would be his best bet.
And you know what? And I think the only thing that will save his image, his reputation, and his legacy, if you will, is if he does something like that. If he doesn't fight either the winner of Andrade Saunders, or if he doesn't fight Charlo and he rides off into the sunset, not fighting these guys, as Jim Lampley put it, his career will be perceived as a failure. You know, so you can't end on the note of losing to Canelo, no matter who fans say they thought won the fight. You can't end your career on a note like that. When, once again,
I gotta say, WBC kind of screwed Charlo, man. It's messed up.
Oh yeah,
because Charlo, if I'm not mistaken, did the mandatory eliminator, and they're still like, no, you got to fight someone else. That's kind of garbage, man. I think it's fair, but They
completely screwed him. They promised Charlo that he was going to get a shot after this fight, after the second fight. They promised him, But the only
that's WBC though, so
yeah,
who cares? WBC does not have a great relationship with Canelo, anyways, and this is kind of why I actually think it's really possible that Canelo would fight Golovkin in May, even if the WBC belt was on the line. Because I don't think Canelo cares about WBC, Suleiman. I don't think he gives a shit about him.
No, he don't. But and some people, speaking of that, because some people said to me, "Hey Dante, why are you not talking about Canelo not fighting Charlo?" And I want to say this: let's go ahead and deal with what is at hand right now. So if the WBC is right now ordering Golovkin to fight Charlo, let's see what happens there, and then we could talk about if Canelo is going to fight him now or next. So. But that's pretty much what that is. Once again, if Golovkin doesn't do either A or B, if he doesn't fight either Saunders, Andrade winner, or Charlo, once again, man, his reputation.
What if he goes after the Jacobs Derevyanchenko winner? That's
another good option. But the fact that he gave up his belt not to fight Derevyanchenko, I strongly disagree. I don't believe he'll do it. It's highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely that he'll fight them.
I do think he'll try to go, because after he lost the fight or whatever, he did say he'll be back, and I can't picture him just fighting some I don't know. I just can't picture him fighting Ivanis Monterosian again or something.
Yeah, I was being sarcastic when I said that. But my point is.
I know, but like a lesser caliber dude, I can't see that. If he does do that, that'll be bad.
That'll be bad. And I'm glad we all can agree on this. Because like I said, the opponents that you just named, those should be the only options. So let's see what happens. Yeah. But anyway, hey, but good stuff. Cool. Good stuff, Tom. Thanks for calling in, all right, man?
All right, man.
All right, take care, man.
Peace.
Hey, Dante.
What's up, Brad?
While we were talking about the WBC, was Benavidez stripped of that belt over this cocaine issue?
No, they haven't stripped him yet. I don't know if they will, but they haven't stripped him. As of yet, they haven't stripped him. So yeah, we have to see what's going to happen with that situation. But once again, that's the crazy stuff that happens in boxing, man. You fell in You testing for cocaine and all that kind of stuff. What is this? WBC will continue aggressive push for PED testing compliance. I was just reading the headline where it says the WBC will continue aggressive push for PED testing compliance. It's funny, we talk about testing, and as soon as I look at my computer, I see this headline pop up. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. let's go ahead and take another call. Once again, we're going to wrap it up in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and try to take another call. I think I know who this is. I'm going to go ahead and take this call right here. 413. I believe this is the dude I had a debate with before. 413, what's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
It's Michael coming in from Massachusetts. What's going on?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
All right, so you, Dante, as a black man, I want your honest opinion on this. Honestly, all right? So I'm going to ask you, so let's say you got a white fighter and a black fighter, whatever. You know, you got white fans calling the black fighter N-words, all types of stuff, whatever. The fight happens, okay? The black fighter loses. Do you honestly feel some type of way towards the white people and the black fighter losing because of the, racism and all this? Feel like personally, like, let down or some type of way about it?
So you're saying, let me make sure I understand your question. So you're saying that if the white fighter was calling the black guy N-words, all kind of racial slurs, and then the white guy ends up winning the fight, will I feel a certain way about him? That's what you asked me? That's what you asked me, right?
Not the white fighter, but the fans were calling him an N-word and all this, and the white fighter wins. Do you personally feel some type of way about it?
I don't know what you mean when you say a certain way, because we've already experienced that. We've seen Golovkin beat black fighters, and I've seen people in the comment section. After I predicted, like when Golovkin beat Curtis Stevens, I predicted Golovkin would beat Curtis Stevens, and my comment section in my post-fight video was like, oh, he beat that N-word, or he made him his slave, and all that kind of stuff. You asking me, do I feel offended when they say that kind of stuff?
No. Do you feel like kind of let down if the black fighter loses? Like you want to whip the white guy's ass? That's what I'm asking. Like, how do you personally feel?
Well, of course, of course. I mean, that's like when Joe Louis went against Max Schmeling. Of course, if he's going up against a Nazi and there's racist people to support him, of course I'm rooting for the black guy to win the fight. Yeah, of course. Fighting against racism, of course. Yeah, of course.
Me personally, as a Puerto Rican, if someone said some spick or whatever like that, I honestly wouldn't be offended personally. Well, I would like the Puerto Rican fighter to win. Just prove a point, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, I say my only question, I just wanted to let you, I just wanted to, because some people aren't, saying honest about things like that. They just try to be politically correct, whatever the case may be. So I'm pretty sure you be honest, man.
No. And listen, let me say this too, bro. Realistically, because I don't want the message to get misconstrued when it comes to rooting for people. At the end of the day, I don't think there's anything wrong with rooting for someone who's the same race, who looks like you. There's nothing wrong with doing that. The problem is when you start throwing rocks at the other team, or when you're very influential like HBO, and you basically changing the narrative, to get people to think a certain way about a certain race, as opposed to the other race. That's when it becomes messy. But if you just root for someone, like let's say if you're a Lakers fan, and then your team loses in the finals, and then you say, okay, well, they beat my team, congrats to them, and that's it. But when you start saying, oh, well, the Lakers, the owner, he on crack cocaine, and so and so is this and this and that, you know what I'm saying? You making it more than what it really is. You know what I mean? So my point is, it's nothing wrong with rooting people. It's nothing wrong with rooting for people that look like you, people that come from the same city as you or whatever. As long as you're not throwing rocks at the other team. When we go to these fights and you see like UK fans, hitting the drums and they waving the flag and all that kind of stuff, or you see Filipino fans waving the flag for Manny Pacquiao, I always think that's cool. I think that's cool when I see that, because it looks more like a worldwide soccer event or something. I love seeing that. But once again, if I see one of them pick up a brick and throw it across the arena to hit someone, that's rooting for the other team, now that's when it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? When you do that to someone who's rooting for the other fighter. So that's pretty much how I see it, man. But yeah, man.
But you know what the problem is with that though?
What's up?
It's the thing when people don't experience the racism themselves, they don't care what happens to you. You know what I'm saying? It's like you as a black person, you probably dealt with more racism than I have. I don't think I ever dealt with racism personally. You know what I'm saying? But you probably deal with a lot on the basis. So someone who doesn't experience it, they think you're tripping. They think, you're out of it. You're black. You just complain all this and stuff. But if they experience it themselves, maybe they'll take some time to, you know, think about it more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. And bro, and I want to say something too from the last conversation we had, man, because I want to make this clear. And you can always call in, man, but I want to make this clear, bro. Just because you basically, you know, assume that because I have dealt with a lot of racism, and like I told you, and I had said it in videos before. Yeah, when I was like growing up in Long Beach, California, there was a lot of tension with black and brown. There were riots at the school once a month and all type of stuff like that. And I dealt with a lot of racism, but at the same time, a lot of girls that I dated were Mexican, and they used to tell me, I wouldn't even bring this kind of stuff up. And this is how I learned, how I really realized how bad it was. They would tell me like, Dante, you know, the guys at my school, they'd be like, you know, if you ever date an N-word, no one will ever touch you. And when we would be at school and Martin Luther King, you know, they would play the Martin Luther King videos. People would be like, oh yeah, you know, F that N-word and all. Girls be telling me how their parents don't like and all that kind of stuff. But my point is, I had never stopped, you know, looking at the good stuff that Mexicans or white people or whoever have done for me. I always judge individuals by what they have done. You know what I mean? I would never judge an entire race. So my point is, no, just because I dealt with that, it doesn't automatically mean I'm gonna be racist towards the whole race or not like them. I mean, cause that's kind of like saying a Jewish guy telling you, you know, he went through the Holocaust, and then someone said, oh, well, you went through the Holocaust? Oh, well, there it is. You hate white people. You hate Germans, because there's no way you could go through all of that and not hate white people. You feel me? So that's just
my think about that though.
Huh?
The people who are racist, that's the thing. Like they don't care. They don't care how good you are. They don't care what you've done. They just don't like you because you're black. So those people always not gonna like you no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
And it's deeper than that.
Go ahead, Reggie.
A lot of this racism that comes from a lot of the guys comes from envy.
Think it's insecurity. Insecurity, right?
Insecurities.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It comes from a lot. They have insecurity.
Yo. No offense. I have some white guys, like, I'm not trying to be funny, but they think that everything's like a competition. I don't know why. Like, it's weird. Not all of them, but some of them. I've dealt with that shit. I don't know why.
Well, yeah.
I'm not sure if that's a lot of these racism, or I don't know what the fuck it is.
When you deal with a lot of racism, it always lings around their feeling of their women's attraction towards you. There's a lot of many reasons behind it, and a lot of underlying reasons is behind the insecurities and fear that some of these dudes have in them.
Oh, yeah.
But they shouldn't be insecure. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, there's people who like black people, Asian people, white people. So you know what I'm saying?
Hey, and you know the crazy thing,
something they do until you check it.
And the crazy thing we saying this is, think about this for just for a second. Like when you look at a job atmosphere or school, when it came to the one girl that was hated the most, who was it usually? It was the most attractive girl, right? She was usually the most hated girl. If it was at work, if it was in high school, it was her. They never hated the ugly girl. Because she wasn't a threat to them. So they hated the beautiful girl because she was perceived as a threat to them. Look at her and her, you know, her sexy ass legs and, you know, coming up here with her lips looking all juicy and all that. She thinks she's so damn bad. You know what I'm saying? This is basically my point is, this is a lot of times how a lot of people who do, you know, hate black people, that's how they kind of look at them. Like, oh, they think you think because you could slam dunk a ball, you black bastard, and all this kind of stuff. You know, it's like, this is kind of where it kind of comes from.
Yeah. You said the black and brown, but the thing is, what us Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and the blacks over here on the East Coast, we always got along with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Never had problems or anything like that. Well, maybe a few things here and there, but not where I'm personally from. So the Hispanics, because East Coast is mostly Hispanics, you know, the Puerto Ricans
and blacks. Yeah, Dominicans,
maybe some Mexicans.
Yeah. But see, my thing is, I never understood, why isn't black and Mexicans the same way black and Puerto Ricans, Dominicans are? That's what I never understood.
Because I'm gonna be honest, okay? Some Puerto Ricans may be a little racist towards blacks, because maybe not racist, but I heard Puerto Rican women say, I don't date black men. So I'm not sure that's really racist or anything like that. But
It might be American black men because Puerto Ricans are dark as us. So.
Yeah.
I'm Puerto Rican, man.
I mean,
personally,
there are some.
Yeah,
there are some
Rican,
racist.
but
there are some racist Puerto Ricans. That's just not.
Let me touch.
Go ahead.
Well, us Puerto Ricans consider ourselves our own people. You know what I'm saying? That's the way we're raised. We're Puerto Rican. Doesn't matter if you're. I'm more of a light skinned Puerto Rican. Doesn't matter if you're white, tan, brown, curly hair. We're all raised that we're all Puerto Rican. So we consider ourselves our own people. So just like the Mexicans, Dominicans, that's how we are. So if you see a white person, the white, black person's black, we consider ourselves, Puerto Ricans. Just date our own, marry our own, whatever the case may be. But when it comes to black people, honestly don't know why we like them. We just do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's no other way. Like I'm a white.
I think
I look quote unquote white. I look, but there's a real reason why I never dated white women. Even though I look quote unquote white, I'm Puerto Rican. So
yeah.
But the way I'm explaining this, it's weird because I'm Puerto Rican, but I was never closest to Puerto Rican people or white people. My closest friends are always black.
And
I don't know why.
No, I think honestly, because the average Puerto Rican, when it comes to Puerto Rican women, the average Puerto Rican women, they date black men. I mean, it's the complete. And the funny thing is, when I'm talking about women, though, even the Mexican women, a lot of the men may be racist towards blacks out there on the West Coast. But honestly, a lot of the Mexican women, they love dating black men, because that's once again where I heard all of these stories from a lot of the Mexican women I dated, where they would tell me how the hate is real, But with Puerto Ricans, I believe Puerto Ricans they accept more of their heritage. They accept more of the African origin along with European origin. They accept it more. With Mexicans.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's the thing though. But are Puerto Ricans in the States, we're raised that we're just Puerto Rican. We don't think about European. We're just Puerto Rican people, Latinos. That's how we think. You know what I'm saying? Just Puerto Rican people.
Yeah, no, I know.
So we don't really see white people and think, we're part white.
No, I know. Well,
we don't say none of that shit.
I know that, but you remember the Big Pun video, the Big Pun album. When Big Pun his intro, he opens the album up saying, Puerto Rican. Yeah, he said no. When he opens up, he says something like Puerto Rican. He says the heart. He says something like the heart of African, and then European and Indian. He says basically what a Puerto Rican is. This is what he says. If you watch if you listen to his first album, the Big Punisher first album, the intro, he says it in the intro. He says what a Puerto Rican is, and he
wait, Dante, hold up. I know what I am, bro. I get it. I took a DNA test. I'll tell you what I came out with. Honestly, my DNA test. I'll tell you right now. All right. So it was 67% European, the biggest country. 16% African. 13% Native American. 2% Asian, and 2% Middle Eastern.
Yeah, that's a great breakdown. That's a great way to break it down. Yeah, it don't. Because it's good to let people know what the percentages are. But at the end of the day, it don't really matter what the percentages are. Yeah, you're Puerto Rican. Yeah, you're Puerto Rican.
Yeah, so I'm just Puerto Rican.
And that's how I see it. That's how I see it. I see it as and like you said before, this is the reason why Puerto Ricans are comfortable using the N-word, and the average black person never is offended if a Puerto Rican is using the N-word. Why? Because they see them as, partially black. Once again, it don't matter if you're 5% black, if you're 80% black. White people, they basically said it all goes off of the one drop rule. You know what I mean? If you were considered.
Yeah, but here's the thing on white people. White people are funny, dude. White people are really funny because I had to try. I uploaded my DNA test online, and they tried to argue me. Oh, you're white, you're a cell. I was like, dude, first of all, I'm Latino, I'm Puerto Rican. When have you ever tried to claim Puerto Ricans? Puerto Ricans have always been considered their own group, Latinos. So why are you all of a sudden in my comment section? I do have white friends. You act like I don't like white people or something just because I don't identify as white. I'm Puerto Rican. That's how we grew up. We're all Puerto Rican, no matter the shade, no matter the color, your hair texture. We're all Puerto Rican. So why are you getting mad at me all of a sudden randomly? Act like I don't like white people or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
What the fuck?
And you know what? And I close out with saying this, so I'm gonna get to another call. But just what you said is a good point. you should just be looked at as Puerto Rican. And what that really should mean is it shouldn't matter how dark you are, how light you are, or what you are in between. Yeah. You should just be looked at as Puerto Rican, and it should not be looked at as one person is more Puerto Rican than the other or whatever. It should just be, I'm Puerto Rican, period. You know, so that's what it should be.
That's how we grow up. That's why all Puerto Ricans, no matter what the color, yes, every Puerto Rican, what did it say? I'm Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
That's how we're raised. You know what I'm saying?
And that's how it's supposed to be. Hey, bro, but thanks for calling in, man. Call in anytime, all right, man?
Oh, man. Much love, Dante, all right?
All right, good looking, man. Take care, man. All right.
Hey, Dante, in the comments, they saying it's a caller 510. That might be somebody.
What's up? What number is it?
In the comments, they said 510.
He hasn't called in. I'm looking at the numbers right now. He hasn't called in. Is he a decaf or just somebody troll? What is he? Let me see. Let me look at the comment section real quick.
It looked like.
Let me look at the comment section real quick. Okay, my comments. Hey, y'all, man, if y'all hanging out with us late right now, man, hit that like button, man. Show your love. You can show your love by hitting that like button. You can show your love by donating to me, man. You can donate to me and show your love, you know, and you can even just say what's up in the comment section, man. So anyway, yeah, let me go ahead and see what's going on over here in the comment section. Yeah, 510. I'm seeing people say 510 in the comment section. Boy, y'all got me anxious to see what 510 is all about. But 510 ain't called in, guys. I'm looking at the numbers. 510 hasn't called in yet. So, hey, Reggie, what was 510 talking about in the comment section?
Oh, I didn't see it. They just kept saying 510, take the caller 510.
Oh, okay. I don't, y'all tell me, what was he talking about? Because I don't see anything that 510 is lying and isn't worth your time, DBN. Well, usually the cast is not worth my time are some of my favorite callers to call in, though. So, hey, once again, yeah, I don't see, 510 hasn't called in. But I'm going to look out for him. And the fact that I don't see him calling in is probably an indication. It's probably an indication that he's a decaf and he's afraid to get that work. He don't want that smoke. Let's take another call, man. We're about to wrap it up. But definitely, other people are definitely calling in. Let's take another call. We got 626. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up? Hey.
What's going on? You breaking up, man. I didn't hear nothing. Hello?
Can you hear me?
I hear you now. I hear you now. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Dante? It's Deontay coming from West Covina.
West Covina. What's good with you? What's good with you, man?
Yeah. Yeah, man. I was just listening in, man, and y'all talking about racism, man. Racism is taught, man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Grow up being taught.
Passed down from generation to generation. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Yeah, but what I really wanted to call about is the platform of boxing right now, man. Because people saying Al Heyman is a cancer, and really, what I think, man, is it's champions fighting bums, man. That's what it right now. You can't get a good champion against a good champion right now.
Well, at least you can't get it if you and I dealing with Al Heyman in the PBC series, because over there champions are fighting champions. You know, with the Tyson Furies versus Deontay Wilders, Errol Spence trying to fight Mikey Garcia. You know, it's just tons of fights that we're getting over there, and it's a lot of undefeated fighters fighting against each other. You know, once again, if you look at what's going on with a lot of other promotional companies, those are the fights. Those are where we're not getting the good fights because for whatever reason, you know, and I think it has a lot to do with the reason why we get such great fights with Al Heyman is because Al Heyman, I truly believe that he tells these fighters, do not worry. If you lose to this guy, I will bring you back. You're not going to get thrown to the back of the line, so don't worry. See, fighters don't have those type of options when it comes to being with Top Rank or Golden Boy, I don't believe. I believe that they're scared to death if they lose, they're almost starting back over, you know? And I believe that's the reason why a lot of them are not willing to get in the ring with some of the best competition. It's always a small percentage when it comes to fighters that's willing to go risk versus reward. You know, so that's
what it is, man. It's low risk and high reward. That's what's been this whole year, man. You talk about fights, you can only really talk about two fights this year. Wilder and Lewis, and that like Canelo and Triple G.
Well,
what other big fights have been out right now? You know,
Sean Porter and Danny Garcia was a big fight.
Yeah,
that was another one. That was another one. But
if I sit back and think, it was a gang of good fights this year. It was a whole bunch of good fights this year. I got to sit back and
last year was better though.
Name some of these fights, man.
Last year was better.
Well, to me, it's gotten better and better as the year has progressed. I think since 2015, we've been having a strong streak of great fights, especially through Al Heyman. We've been having a lot of good fights, you know. Charlo versus Lubin was a good fight. Charlo versus Lubin was a good fight. Wilder versus Ortiz. Wilder versus Ortiz. I'm trying to think of some of them right now. But yeah, Errol Spence.
Mikey Garcia then had a
Mikey Garcia versus Robert. Yeah, Mikey Garcia versus Robert Easter, the battle of undefeateds, unifying the belts. Yeah, it's been a lot of good fights this year. You know, so, and once again, 80% of the good fights have came from Al Heyman in the PBC series. So, you know, and another thing too is we can't, because sometimes you can blame the promoter or the advisor if we're not getting the fights. But I truly believe that sometimes you have to blame the fighter. I believe that Al Heyman has been trying to pressure Keith Thurman to take the Errol Spence fight since day one. I truly believe that. Even when Sean Porter said that when Sean Porter and Danny Garcia, when they said they're going to fight Errol Spence next, I think that was Al Heyman telling them, listen, man, we really want you to fight Errol Spence next. Don't worry about losing. We'll bring you back. And I think this is the reason why both Danny Garcia and and Sean Porter said we're going to fight him next. But then after that, of course, now Sean, he's saying he still don't know, et cetera, so we don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, you know, most of the times, these fighters, they're the ones to blame when we don't get the fights that we want to get. You know, so that's pretty much how I see it. But hey man, but I'm gonna try to get to another one before I wrap it up, man. Thanks for calling in. All right, family.
All right, man.
All right, take care, man.
And like you were saying, boxing is super hot right now. It didn't put the UFC on the bench.
Oh yeah.
Even with the UFC with this mega fight with Conor, it's not even that huge of a draw. Like the build up to that Conor fight has been kind of dull, and this is probably supposed to be the biggest event for the UFC.
Yeah.
But boxing with Deontay Wilder kind of overshadowed that.
Yeah, man, and somebody in the comment section said, yeah, Gary Russell was in a good fight too against JoJo Diaz. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah. I don't know if the caller, I don't really know what he was getting at. I don't know if he was blaming it on PBC or he was saying that he was agreeing with us and saying PBC is the only ones putting on good fights. I really don't know what he was saying, but there's no doubt about it. 80% of the best fights this year in the last couple of years have been through PBC and Al Heyman. That's for sure. That's a guarantee. Hey, let's take another call. Let me see here. We got 818. What's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
Hey, Dante. It's Al from L.A.
Al from L.A.? What's going on? Al Heyman?
Yeah.
What's going on, man? What's on your mind?
Yeah, so just was going to talk about the 2 points, right? So Golovkin and Charlo.
Uh-huh.
I really do want to see that fight. I do think it's 50-50 that they'll take it. Because I do think that he might take the fight with the Japanese guy, Murata.
That makes sense. That seems like
because that's a big money fight.
Well, let me say this. Let me just say this real quick. There is no doubt about it. Way more people know Jermall Charlo than Murata. Murata is nowhere near as big of a fight as Charlo would be. The only difference is Charlo
in Japan though. If they do it in Japan,
but Golovkin's fan base is in America though. He doesn't look for fighters in other countries to cater to their fan base. Golovkin doesn't need a Japanese fan base. Everything that he does is here in America. He has commercials out here in America. He promotes himself in America. So the thing is, he could fight against him, but what's bigger in America would definitely be Charlo. And like I said, regardless if we want to, admit it or not, race does sell. Whenever Golovkin fought against a black fighter, and I'm talking about on a small, lesser opposition, he did really good numbers. You know, against Willie Monroe, against Dominic Wade, he did really good numbers. You know, against fighters that weren't even big names. So there's no doubt about it. And then Charlo, the fact that he's already fought on main events, he always fights on TV. People know who he is. That would make no sense for Golovkin to go overseas and fight someone in Japan.
Well, what I'm saying is, I think that usually the reason I just think that with the Japanese fan base, when they stage something in Japan, like all of Japan is going to watch that fight, you know. And the gate is going to be like, there's probably going to be like 100,000 people there.
But let me ask you this: what if Golovkin wants to fight Canelo? What if he wants revenge and he wants to fight Canelo and he has to fight Charlo to get Canelo? Why would he fight someone in Japan if his road is leading to Canelo a rubber match?
Well, I think because they might think that. Well, I think the fact that he's. And I know you don't agree with me on this. I think the fact that he's about to be 37 plays a big role in this. They don't want too many tough fights with, with him getting older.
And you just answered the question. Tough fights. Those were the key words right there. It is a tougher fight.
Right.
That's what it comes down to. But this is the thing, though. When we say Golovkin is 37, but he's willing to fight Canelo Alvarez, and you feel he's too old to fight Charlo, think about what that implies.
Well, I'm not saying that I think he's too old to face Charlo. I just think that it's at his, obviously with Canelo, you know, it's a more of a, how do you call it? It's less risk, more reward.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I just said. If it's less risk to fight Canelo than it is to fight Charlo, then all you're saying is Canelo is not on the level of a Charlo. He's not on the level of a Charlo. He's not on the level of any fighter that Golovkin is not willing to fight. But once again, what people don't understand is it's a moot point when we talk about if Golovkin is old, if he's 37. You guys have to remember, first of all, Golovkin started his career late. He started his career close to 30 years old.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're ignoring the all the amateur fights that he's had. When you have like 350 amateur fights, that has a lot of wear and tear. When you go into the pros.
Okay, so if that's the case, why did he look so good against Vanes Martirosyan with all those amateur fights?
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. And basically, this is how it is. Just because he can still destroy Dominic Wade or Vanes Martirosyan doesn't mean he's still in his prime.
So when was
you know what I mean? A past prime Golovkin.
Tell me when.
A past prime Golovkin can still beat Dominic Wade and Willie Monroe. And the reason why I say this is because when you reach the age of 37,
let me tell you,
the body, you don't have the same reflexes. You don't have the same speed that you did when you were in your early 30s or late 20s. That's just the way the body works.
No. That's not how the body works. If that was the case, then Floyd Mayweather would not be beating Canelo close to 40 years old. Well, everyone is different.
Floyd Mayweather, I don't think Floyd Mayweather was not in his prime in his late 30s.
Yeah, he wasn't in his prime.
He even said it. He said that.
Hold on.
Prime Mayweather was late 20s, early 30s.
You're right. He wasn't as good at 37 as he was at 23. But no matter what you say, he beat Canelo Alvarez close to 40. Bernard Hopkins beat Kelly Pavlik in his 40s.
Right, but those I understand. Well,
hold on. Let me just say this. Let me just say this.
But
let me say that. Hold on.
Regardless that they did, I'm just doesn't mean that if a fighter reaches the age of 36, 37. Look at Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. at the age of 36 was getting knocked out cold by Journeyman.
Okay, listen, but that's after. Wait. But that was after. Dropped back down. Hold on, but that was after he had already got knocked out. Understand this: the 36-year-old Roy Jones, they got knocked out by Tarver. Up until he got knocked out, that was by one punch. It was the same Roy Jones. He actually looked better in the rematch with Antonio Tarver than he did in the first fight. It started to look like it was going to be an even easier win until he got caught with a left hand he didn't see. Let me go back to talking about fighters that you know fight lesser opposition.
Glenn Johnson.
Hold on.
He lost to Glenn Johnson right after that.
Hold on, but after he got knocked out. Once he got knocked out, we can't really talk about after he got knocked out because he was never the same anymore. That had nothing to do with age. He was different because he had got knocked out.
I just saw that it's not. I mean, he lost a lot of his. He lost a lot of his reflexes. The speed wasn't there anymore.
Of course, because he had already got knocked out. He wasn't the same fighter. Most fighters who get knocked out, they're never the same anymore. But they're easy to get. They're more susceptible to getting knocked out. But let me say this: when you talked about lesser opposition, how Golovkin, it makes sense that he can beat lesser opposition even if he's older. When you are past your prime, let's take Chavez for example. Julio Cesar Chavez. When Julio Cesar Chavez was past his prime, he was losing to fighters like Willie Wise. Now Julio Cesar Chavez would have knocked Willie Wise out in the first 5 rounds if he was in his prime. That is equivalent to Gennady Golovkin not looking good against Avanis Monterosian. When it comes to Gennady Golovkin, we have not seen a different Gennady Golovkin. We haven't seen his reflexes altered. We haven't seen him do things that he doesn't usually do. We have seen a pattern with Gennady Golovkin. Whenever Gennady Golovkin... I have. Okay, you know what? Forget it. Let's just say this.
I'll tell you a fight.
No, hold on.
I'll tell you a fight. When he fought Ishida, look at the head movement. Look how he was moving at that fight. And then look how he's moving now. It's a completely different Golovkin.
Okay, let's say this.
He lost speed and he lost some reflex.
No, yeah, that's not
now,
true.
He didn't, but he didn't deteriorate. He didn't deteriorate as much as Chavez Sr. did. Some fighters don't deteriorate as much, but I still don't think he's in his prime.
Let me ask you this. Let's just say what you say is true. Let's say this is age, right? If Muhammad Ali never fought against Sonny Liston, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, but he beat like lesser opposition. And the reason and the excuse why he didn't fight them is because coincidentally, that's when he started to age and he either couldn't beat them or he just didn't fight them. Do you think he would still be considered quote unquote the greatest or one of the greatest fighters of all time if he didn't fight them?
If he didn't fight them,
if he didn't
when he was in his late 30s,
if he didn't fight them at all, let's say his best opponents was Patterson, Floyd Patterson, or some of the other lesser guys that he beat. That was his best opposition on his resume, and he never fought the George Foremans, the Sonny Listons, the Joe Fraziers. Do you think he would still be considered a great fighter?
He. Probably not as great as, you know.
Would he be considered great at all?
In the Hall of Fame, but probably not as great as
would he be considered
now.
Would he be considered great at all if he never fought any of them? Would he be considered like one of the greatest if he never fought those names that was attached to his name that was synonymous when you say Muhammad Ali?
No.
Okay, so it's a moot point when we're over here talking about Gennady Golovkin, him too old to fight someone like a Charlo.
Well, no, I didn't say no. I'm not saying he's too old. I want him. I want the fight to happen. I want to see the fight.
Prime,
I want to see. I'm just saying that like we have to give the guy credit to the level that is still competing in his late 30s.
Against who?
There's not a lot of boxers. If you go through history, there's not a lot of boxers that were approaching 37 years old and were still able to compete at that level.
That
you know,
it doesn't. You don't get credit.
He does have wear and tear though.
No.
But it's not just it's not just like how many wars you've been in. It's also the fact that when you reach 37, your reflexes are not the same when they were when you're 28.
Okay.
I mean, there's so many boxers that have said this in interviews. Like, there's an interview with Mosley, and he talks about it. Like,
so hold on, wait.
You want to do it, but your body just can't.
Okay, what fighter would you compare Golovkin to? Like, I'll throw some names out there: Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, Muhammad Ali, Pernell Whitaker, and anyone else you could think of that's considered one of the greatest. Would you compare? Would you put Gennady Golovkin in that same conversation as those names I just mentioned?
Me personally, I think I rate him. I rate him highly. I think the fact that, like I said, I think people don't give him enough credit. The fact that he's going to be 37 years old and is still competing at that level.
Well, but wait.
I just think we ignore the age way too much.
Hold on. But you're lowering the bar when you you basically saying he's doing stuff that really has nothing to do with facing great opponents. You're just saying for him to fight this competition at 37, and he's not fighting any of the best. When Floyd Mayweather fought Canelo Alvarez, Gennady Golovkin would never do that at 37. Golovkin would never move up in weight and fight an undefeated.
Well, he wanted to move up and face Fraj.
What?
He wanted to move up and face Fraj.
Yeah, but he didn't do it though. But if he would have done it, but you can't go off of what he wanted to do. If he would have did that, that would have looked good on his resume. That would have looked good on his resume if he would have did that. But you can't give him credit for something that he planned on doing. It has to be in the history books. If Muhammad Ali planned on fighting Joe Frazier, but he never did it, it would not matter why he didn't do it. So my point is, once again, if Gennady Golovkin, and I don't believe, and comparing Carl Froch to like what Floyd Mayweather did. Remember, Floyd Mayweather moved up 5 weight classes, and he moved up and he fought Canelo Alvarez, who was undefeated. Carl Froch had lost before. Canelo had never lost. He was the bigger, stronger guy, 14 years younger than him. Gennady Golovkin, I don't believe would ever go up, because if he what Floyd Mayweather did, what Golovkin would have to do, he would have to move up and fight an Andre Ward. That would be equivalent to prove that he was pound for pound the best.
Well, I don't consider Canelo. I don't consider Canelo at that time on the same level as a Ward.
Well,
I consider Ward on a much higher level.
No, I agree with you, but my point is when you're 37, when you're close to 40 years old, and the guy is undefeated, he's a unified champion at the division. That's a hell of a feat. To beat someone like that, that's a hell of a feat. But my point is, Gennady Golovkin, he has avoided every single challenge. I'm talking about he's never been in a fight where people thought he just may lose this one. The fighter you.
But what do you mean? I don't agree with you that he's avoided though. I mean, he's stayed in the middleweight division.
Okay, well,
who has he avoided in the middleweight division?
Okay, well let's talk about it.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Reggie. Go ahead.
Yeah, but when you look at, to classify anybody as a great, when you go through the history, usually your greats move up through divisions. If he's running through everybody, he should have cleared through that division, moved up. The other thing, they scouted this division wrong. They try to play this little double dutch jumping into this division before he left the amateur rankings. Comes in, they try to scout the horizon. They didn't see none of these young guys. They play the game wrong. Here come all these young beasts. And now all of a sudden, people are using the excuse of his age. He hasn't been in no real wars. Where's the wear and tear at? He's been running through everybody.
350 amateur fights. He turned pro in
his mid
to late 20s.
You don't get wear and tear.
Come on, I mean,
he's a grown man fighting kids in the amateurs. Don't bring up the amateur stuff.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. He's not a grown man. He's fighting people his own age. What do you mean?
No,
he's fighting people his own age in the amateurs.
No, hold on.
I'm gonna.
Hold on, let me say this.
350 amateur fights takes a huge toll.
Hold on. Listen, there is
it takes a huge wear and tear on you.
There's a reason why they wear bigger gloves and headgear in the amateurs. We've never heard anyone talk about wear and tear.
You do, but
from
I mean,
the amateurs.
It's still.
When have you heard someone?
350 amateur fights.
When have you heard someone talk about 4-round fights? When have you ever heard someone talk? I don't want you to just go off of your opinion.
Any pro boxer. Any pro boxer will tell you.
Who? Name me one.
350 amateur fights.
Name me one.
Name me one. Tore them up.
Name me one.
I've seen many interviews. I've seen Hopkins mention it.
Name me one.
I've seen Hopkins mention it.
What did Bernard Hopkins say?
What did Bernard Hopkins say? Fighters are active as hell.
Okay, hold on. Okay, once again, this is the thing. This is what Golovkin will be remembered as. Golovkin, he had an opportunity when he was a middleweight. He had an opportunity. You had Edeslani Lara, who wanted to move up and weight and fight him. He didn't fight Edeslani Lara. You had you mentioned Carl Froch. You mentioned that he was willing to move up to fight Carl Froch.
I don't know about that. I know you think Golovkin ducked Lara, but I don't agree with that. But
what would you consider a duck? What would you consider a duck?
Well, first of all, the whole issue of
answer the question, bro.
Laura's camp reaching out to Golovkin's camp. None of that even happened.
No.
Even Laura's manager admitted. They never even reached out to Golovkin's camp.
This is not what we're talking about. Why? Because Canelo never reached out. Canelo never reached out to Golovkin, and Golovkin was aggressively calling out Canelo for 2 years.
Well, he was #1 mandatory.
No, Canelo.
He was the #1 mandatory for the belt. If Lara really wanted to fight Golovkin, he could have been a mandatory for the belt.
Golovkin was calling out Canelo for 2 years before there was any position that Canelo was in. Golovkin wanted to fight Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo had never reached out to him. When they fought again, when Golovkin fought against,
they were in the same weight class.
No, hold on, let me finish. What is that? You said they're in the same weight class. What? But the thing is,
they're
Golovkin,
in the same weight class.
Yeah,
right.
but so then why did Golovkin want to go up and fight Chavez? He's not in the same weight class. Why did he want to fight Carl Froch? He's not in the same weight class.
Well, I know he wanted to. Yeah, I know he wanted to go fight him, but
so you talking about weight class doesn't mean anything. Kell Brook wasn't in the same weight class, so that doesn't mean anything. Kell Brook moved up from welterweight to 160.
I just don't see him not taking the Lara fight as a duck.
Okay, but
because it's like if Ishe Smith calls him out, does he have to fight Ishe Smith too?
So this is the thing.
You know, it's like I don't consider the Lara fight a duck.
Hold on. Well, but once again, we already know that you're defending Golovkin. So when you say you don't see it as a duck, of course you wouldn't see that as a duck. But my whole thing is, once again, if Lara had made an interest and he said, I want to fight him, forget about how he tried to reach out to them. If the public knows that he wants to fight, and Golovkin has fought other opponents without them reaching out to him, why wouldn't he reach out to Lara that he knows that Lara is showing an interest? Because once again, Dominic Wade didn't reach out to Golovkin. Willie Monroe didn't reach out to Gennady Golovkin.
But Dominic Wade was in the same weight class, right?
But Kell Brook wasn't in the same weight class, and he wasn't a mandatory. So why did he fight Kell Brook?
But Brook was a big money fight in the UK, though.
Okay. Oh, so you said So wait a minute. So you're saying that it is possible that the fight could have been made if it made sense, right? So now you're making another excuse.
Yeah. I'm just saying that Brook was a big money fight in the UK, but you know that boxing.
Okay. So you're no longer using the weight as an excuse anymore. Now you're using money as an excuse. Okay, so let's go off the money angle.
No, you asked why did he fight Brook?
Okay, let's go off the money angle.
Fight Brook? I said why. That's the reason why he fought Brook.
Okay, let's go off the money
angle. But I'll tell you this though.
Hold on. Let me say something real quick.
I'll give you an example of a duck.
Hold on, let me go off of the money angle. I'll let you finish that point, but let me go off the money angle real quick. Now, Lara versus Canelo did big numbers. That fight did big numbers. Lara versus Canelo did big numbers.
No, it didn't. It did like 300,000 buys.
Yeah, and guess what Golovkin versus Lemieux did?
Okay.
It did 97,000. So those are big numbers compared to 97,000. So if you're going to say that this is a money angle, and Lara had just been in the ring with Canelo, Lara made $1 million.
I'm not saying necessarily.
But you changed your excuse.
The Lara fight because
you changed your excuse.
No, I didn't change my excuse. I'm not changing anything. I'm saying you asked me why did he fight Brook, and I answered that. And I'm saying the reason why he didn't take the Lara fight, it's kind of like, is he supposed to fight every guy in junior middleweight that mentions his name?
Okay, so if you want to fight against,
what would be the main reason? What would be like the main reason? The main reason
to fight Lara is because Lara just had a good fight with Canelo Alvarez. Lara is a bigger name than Willie Monroe and Dominic Wade. That is a good reason for him to fight him. Golovkin could have been the first person to possibly knock out Lara. If Golovkin would have knocked out Lara when at the time Golovkin hadn't faced anyone, and he would have knocked out Lara, that would have been a hell of a statement. Now let's go to Andre Ward real quick. Now once again, Andre Ward is at a different weight class like you just said, but you mentioned earlier that Golovkin was willing to fight Carl Froch. So if you had an opportunity to fight pound for pound the best #1 fighter in the world, keep in mind, by way of contrast, Floyd had to move up 5 weight classes. Golovkin, he hasn't had to move up any weight classes. He only has to move up.
I'm going to tell you why.
He only has to move up 1 weight class.
I'll tell you why he didn't fight. I'll tell you why he didn't face Ward.
Okay. Oh, tell me this.
I'm going to be honest. I'll tell you.
Honest.
I'm not here trying to be like a biased fanboy. Just so you know,
the
reason why he didn't fight Ward is because there's a higher risk in facing Ward, and Carl Froch is an easier opponent than Ward.
Absolutely. Okay, there we have it.
That's
so,
why.
That's a duck. So realistically, that's what you call a duck.
Well, I wouldn't call that a duck, though.
Okay.
My opinion, I don't think my opinion of a duck is when, let's say, you're mandatory. If he doesn't take the Charlo fight, you can say that's kind of a duck.
That's to me, that's kind of like saying I wouldn't really call it raining. I would say it's sprinkling right now, and I would say it's drizzling right now, and I wouldn't really, that's pretty much what you basically saying right now. It's the same thing at the end of the day. If you just said right now, if the risk was too high, if Golovkin felt he had a better chance of beating Carl Froch than Andre Ward, that is exactly the definition of a duck. Avoid a fighter that has a better risk of beating you.
A fighter's not required. You're not obligated to move up a weight class.
You're not obligated to do anything.
Up a weight class or below a weight class.
You're not obligated to do anything.
Well, if the guy's in your weight class and he's a mandatory,
you're not obligated. I agree with you. I agree with you. You're not obligated to do anything. It's up to you how you want to be remembered. You don't have to fight anyone if you don't want to. It's up to you how you want to be remembered. And right now, if Golovkin doesn't face Charlo, Andre Saunders winner, Darren Yevchenko, Danny Jacobs winner, and he retires like that with people just remembering he just lost to a smaller Canelo Alvarez, I'm telling you right now, he will be looked at as one of the most overrated fighters in history, because when you look at all the greatest fighters, their names are synonymous with legends. Sugar Ray Leonard, his name is linked with legends. Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, even Manny Pacquiao, all of these guys can say they have a decisive signature win on their record. You cannot use the excuse, I would have fought the greats, but at the time I got too old and I never got to fight them. That's like me telling you, I could have been the greatest. I could have fought Mike Tyson if I wanted to, but I decided not to do it, though. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same thing. It has to be on the history books. It has to be in the history books. It has to be recorded and documented. But anyway, bro, hey, I appreciate you calling in. Yeah. Great conversation, all right, man? You call in anytime, okay?
Yeah.
Take care.
Have a good night.
Take care.
And just with that Golovkin thing, man, Golovkin's career has been copied and pasted. What they were so hell-bent on is putting him into the record books with these easy touches to have him break this Bernard Hopkins record. His whole record is a copy and paste. Like,
of course,
nothing's organic or authentic about what he has achieved. Like
bro,
he's good, but they railroad him.
And like I said, man,
go ahead.
I'm like I said once again, man. I mean, you cannot compare Golovkin's resume to any of the greats. You notice when I asked him the question, would you put him in the same conversation as Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward? You notice he didn't answer the question. He just said, "Oh, I will rate him high."
Right.
How high? And then you try to lower the bar by saying, "Oh, well, I have to give him credit because he's 37 and he's fighting, decent opposition." What? Vanes Martirosyan at 37? You know what I'm saying? That's great opposition at 37. You can't lower the bar and say, well, okay, well, he didn't fight great fighters, but one time I remember, he did a backflip in the ring. Who does that at 37? You know what I'm saying? What does that have to do with fighting greats? It's got nothing to do with fighting greats, man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, yeah, you guys are just making. I see you guys are trying your best to make Golovkin look good, but you guys are doing a horrible job. You guys are doing a horrible job. There's nobody you can compare Gennady Golovkin's resume to when it comes to greats, and that's just what it is at the end of the day.
Right.
We gonna go ahead and get
what's funny, but the one thing what's funny, because when you go back and if you're really into boxing, you go back and you look at the catalog of some of the greats. You can sit back and watch their contests. Down the line, ain't nobody gonna be reviewing Triple G fights.
No, of course not.
Nobody's gonna be entertained by anything he done in this game.
Of course not.
They've copied and pasted his career.
And once again, he dropped the ball. And I'm telling you right now, if Gennady Golovkin goes in there with any of the top middleweights, the top 5, the names I mentioned, Andrade, Saunders, Charlo, Darren Yevchenko, Danny Jacobs, I promise you, I'm telling you right here, he's going to go out just like Kovalev did. I guarantee you. He gets stopped. He gets stopped by Charlo. Even Golovkin fans know that. You notice, think about this. How many times have we ever sat over here and we was giving you excuses why we don't want to see someone in their prime fight the best opposition in their division when they haven't done anything before? When once again their best win is over David Lemieux. If Floyd Mayweather's best win, I can't even think. He done fought so many good opponents, man. Let's just say his best win was over a tomato can that had already been knocked out before. And he had never beat the Mosleys, the Canelos, the Ricky Hattons, the De La Hoyas, and all of this kind of stuff. And he had an opportunity to fight one guy that was considered pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. You think we're going to be sitting over here saying, no, man, he shouldn't fight him. He's past his prime and this and that. We never say that kind of stuff. It shows us what you think. It shows us what you personally think about Gennady Golovkin when you have to make excuses why he shouldn't fight the best. And you make Canelo look even worse when you say he's old enough to fight. He's not too old to fight Canelo, but he's too old to fight Charlo. So you're admitting you believe Charlo is a much better fighter than Canelo Alvarez. It's just too many ways to expose.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's dude, it's too easy, man. It's too easy to expose this stuff, man. Right. Let me go back to the super chat section, man. Hold on one second, Reggie. I want to introduce another member of that DBN super chat section. Shout out to my man. Thanks for the donation, family. He said never donated to your page and wanted to show some support from your work. Keep grinding. And then he also donated again, and he said Ortiz is older, have the same amount of amateur fights as Triple G, and he's still trying to fight the best. Those amateur fights are not the same as pros. Excellent point, bro. Lomachenko has the same amount of amateur fights. Guillermo Rigo has the same. He has like 400 amateur fights. We didn't see no wear and tear. Who says this kind of stuff? I ain't never heard you. Oh, right. Wear and tear in the amateurs with headgear, bigger gloves, and 4-round fights. Wear and tear?
Right.
Come on, man. Man, Golovkin, you got your fans out here looking thirsty and desperate. Man, you better throw their ass a rope and fight one of these dudes because you got them looking bad trying to defend you. Anyway, on the real. All right, Reggie, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We didn't get to all the calls, man. I tried to get to as many as I can, man. But I'm going to have to go ahead and wrap it up, man. Right. Hey, Reggie, thanks for hanging out with me, man. I appreciate you, family. So I catch up with you.
Man, no problem anytime, man.
I catch up with you on Sunday, all right, man? Yeah, catch up with you on Sunday.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we'll get it in on Sunday, man. So that's pretty much all I got, guys. Once again, man, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This was a special edition live show, and we're going to be doing the actual radio show straight from Thailand, man. I'm residing in Thailand right now. So we're going to be doing it this Sunday, y'all. Make sure y'all tune in and check it out. It will probably be 6 or 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time because, once again, I'm out here in Thailand. So 6 o'clock p.m. in the States will be 8 o'clock in the morning out here in Thailand. So I'm going to try to make it do what it do. But tune in, man. Once again, man, I want to thank everybody. I'll see you guys on Sunday. Y'all already know what it is, man. Hashtag Dante's Boxing Nation. Hashtag Dante's Cooking Nation. Dante's Travel Nation. Hashtag New Media, baby. Hashtag Decaf Busters. We getting it in, y'all. See you on Sunday, 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'll catch up with y'all. It's a nation, baby. Yep.